Savory French toast is perfect for lunchtime, and it's also perfect for cocktail time, depending on how you present it. Take a loaf of brioche. This is a very nice, eggy, light bread. And cut your brioche into 1-inch thick slices. You can just even out the loaf a little bit to make it fit into your baking dish. I'm just going to cut off the bulbous sides. But you don't even really have to do this. But I just want to make it easier. And sometimes brioche crust is a little bit hard. This'll be nice. So there we have our bread. Now we have to make a dry mixture of 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, and we're going to add also 1½ teaspoons of kosher salt. Most French toast doesn't really have a floury batter. It might have just an egg and milk batter. So this is a little bit different, and again, it makes it a little bit more savory. So here we have our dry ingredients. In a larger bowl, we're going to mix 3 large eggs and 1 1/3 cups of milk. Whisk these together. And now whisk in your dry ingredients. So it's a very thin batter, but it is a batter. And we're going to add our Parmesan cheese. This is 3½ ounces of Parmesan cheese that has been coarsely grated. It smells very delicious. And we have our casserole. This is a Pyrex baking dish, 9 by 13 inches, and it's been completely buttered. And we're going to dip our brioche toasts into this batter. You can see how thick it is. And place these in the baking dish. You can leave this in just for a few seconds so that the brioche has a chance to soak up some of that milk. And now there's a little bit of batter that's left over. Don't think you're going to waste that, because you're going to add 1 chopped tomato. It's medium tomato cut into a 1/4-inch dice. You're going to mix that into the egg and cheese. And you're also going to add a little bit of chopped basil. About 1/3 cup of chopped basil. Put that into your batter. Stir this up and place it over the tops of your toasts. The bread will soak up all the excess. Try to divide it evenly. And place this into a 350-degree oven and bake for about 35 to 40 minutes until it is a nice golden brown. And we have one already done right here in the top oven. It looks wonderful. And now we have to get this inverted. You have to get it on a cutting board to cut it into squares or rounds. And you can do that by just turning this over onto a baking sheet. Be very careful not to burn yourself. And then we'll turn this out onto a cutting board. Slice this into squares. Garnish with a little bit of a chiffonade of fresh basil, and you get 24 big squares. So these are very nice for brunch, just like this. Or you can, if you want to be a little bit fancier, choose a biscuit cutter that will waste as little of the crust as possible and cut it out into rounds like that. Either way, your guests are going to really enjoy a very unusual way to taste French toast. This is called savory French toast.